Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Starting off hopefully with a good Thursday. This morning I want to do a little switch up. We've done it before, but I want to talk about pranayama for a moment. I want us to do our pranayama and a little bit of meditation and then do our asana. I want us to set the table for our asana practice this morning. So just to get ourselves in to the room, find your comfortable seat. Notice where you're making contact with the floor and soften into that area. A soft gaze or letting your eyes close. And just notice bottom, legs, feet. Can you soften bottom, legs, feet into the floor, into a cushion, into a chair, wherever you are. And then out of that soft and stable base, notice the spine rising up. Pull the belly in on an exhale, lifting up on an inhale. Just noticing the length of the spine. Lean back a little tiny bit, and lean forward a little tiny bit, side to side. And then find the place right in the middle where you feel the length of the spine. Shoulder blades resting down the back. And then without changing it, beginning to notice the breath. Is your chest moving? Is your belly moving? Or both moving? Just noticing. And then on your next inhale, bringing your hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga and Ayurveda. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So what do you need for yourself this morning for transformation? Just go within, maybe the first thing that pops into your mind. But if you need, for example, peace of mind, say it to yourself as if you already have it. I have peace of mind. I have peace of mind. So saying your intention, your sankalpa 3 times to yourself silently or out loud. And then I'm going to chant 1 Om. You're welcome to join with me at home, exhaling the breath out, belly to spine. Release the belly, let the breath come in. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. So yesterday, one of my students began the discussion of what kind of breath you use in asana practice. So I wanted to talk about that before we did asana today, and I want us to explore that just a little bit, okay? So we have the 4 breaths in yoga. We have the abdominal breath, where the diaphragm pushes the organs down out of the way. We have the chest breath, where the diaphragm spreads to the side and ribs push out and back and forth. We have the meditation breath, which is just your soft, shallow breath, that just whatever your breath is normally, quiet, uncontrolled. And we have the yogic breath, which is a combination of abdominal, relaxing the belly, and then into the chest, okay? But when we're doing asana, often we need our belly engaged because we want the low back stable and secure. So we take a chest breath there. So breathing into this area of the chest, not high in the chest. That stimulates our sympathetic fight, flight, fright, freeze. We don't want that part. We want it down where you have ribs, okay? So let's distinguish for a moment between those 2 breaths. So take your hands, put them on your belly. Relax your elbows, relax your shoulders. Try to not stay with any tension in the upper body. And then on your next exhale, use a little bit of your abdominal muscles, pull the belly to the spine, and then release the muscles and let the breath come in. And exhale, belly to spine. And release, let it come in. Exhale, belly to spine. So not bringing it up into the chest, keeping it low in the belly. It's just a matter of the placement of the diaphragm. Belly to spine. Release and breathe. Exhale, belly to spine, keeping it low. One more. Inhale, breathe, and exhale, belly to spine. Hold the belly in for a moment. Take your hands and place them around your rib cage. Thumbs to the back. You probably had to take a catch inhale. Now that's perfectly fine. But this time, as you exhale, belly to spine, hold the belly there, and then inhale into your hands. Try to get something into the thumbs and exhale, release it. Inhale, hands. Exhale, release it. Keep the belly stable. Inhale, hands. Exhale, release it. Ribs close down. It's called recoiling of the lungs. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale into your hands. Think about your thumbs as well. And exhale, release. And just fall into your natural breath for a moment. Just see where it goes, belly or chest. What softens, what stays the same. Good. And then with intention, we're going to combine those two breaths into our yogic breath. All righty? So how we're going to do that is by exhaling the breath out. We're going to release the belly, let the breath start there. And then as soon as it starts to come up, spread the ribs and bring it into the thoracic cavity. And then with your exhale, slow, smooth recoiling of the lungs. At the very bottom of the exhale, just a little tug with the belly to make sure it all came out. And then release the belly so the breath comes in again and then starts to spread. Okay? Let's do that together. Take a nice, just a regular old inhale and exhale it out, all the way out, belly to spine. Release the belly muscles, breath comes in. Draw it up, begin to spread the ribs side to side. Feel the breath come into the thoracic cavity. Pause at the top and then exhale slowly, recoiling the ribs. Let them come down all by themselves at the very bottom of the exhale. A little tug to the belly. Then release the belly and let it come back in. Belly expands, chest begins to expand. The belly's going to come all in by itself when you start to really expand the chest. Recoil lungs, releasing the breath. And at the very bottom of the exhale, a little tug to the belly. And then release the belly. Breath comes in. Begin to spread it throughout the ribs, back, front, side, side. Ribs expand. Top of the inhale, a very slight pause. Then lungs recoiling. Breath moving out. Good. Little tug at the bottom. And inhale. Little pause at the top. Exhale. Little tug at the bottom. Release. Inhale. Begin to spread the ribs. Pause at the top. Exhale. A little tug at the bottom. Continue on for 4 or 5 more breaths as time allows. Don't forget your back ribs, spread side to side, front to back. And making this be your last breath as you exhale out, falling back into your natural breathing pattern. Just notice it. Good. And then we're gonna do one breath that is uses a chest breath, and one breath that uses an abdominal breath, okay? So for our chest breath, we're gonna do Ujjayi, the subtle method. So we sort of sound like Darth Vader as we inhale the breath in, making a sound at the back of the throat. You can just touch your throat gently and cough. That's the glottis that we're gonna be compressing to make that Darth Vader-like sound. It's the reverse of fogging a mirror. So if you onto a mirror, bringing it in. But that's very drying and we never do it through our mouth. We're gonna close our mouth, just for you to have how it happens. We're gonna close our mouth, draw it through the nose into the chest area, and then exhale the breath all the way out, no sound. That's how Babaji taught us, okay? We're gonna inhale with that Darth Vader sound, making that sound at the back of the throat, pause at the top, and exhale gently out, and using just the chest breath. So let's exhale, belly to spine, keep the spine there, keep the belly there, we're only using chest. Inhale chest, make the noise. Pause at the top, exhale, lungs recoiling, belly stays engaged. Chest breath. Front to back, side to side, exhale. One more. No sound on the exhale. In the yogic text, it says that this breath can be used standing, seated, walking, lying. So that's probably why this breath is often used in an asana class. It uses chest only, the belly is engaged, so one is safely approaching the asana with the low back protected. Okay, let's do one abdominal breath. We're gonna do Siddhkari, which means hissing breath. We're gonna exhale, pull the belly to the spine, and then we're gonna inhale with the tongue at the roof of the mouth where it meets the teeth and smile on our face and pull the breath in through that open mouth. Pause, and then exhale out the nose. So a slight pause, drop the tongue in the bottom of the mouth, feel the coolness happening in the mouth area. So exhale breath all the way out. Inhale through the mouth. Belly expands, exhale. Belly releases and all the way through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Inhale belly. Pause, release the tongue, exhale nose. Bring more. Exhale. And now falling back into your normal breathing pattern. We're going to fall into a meditative state, bringing the senses within. We'll spend just 5 minutes in meditation, slowly drawing the senses in. As the eyes close or a soft gaze, minimizing touch, trying to stay still. minimizing taste, smell, bringing the senses inside. Sound, trying to isolate to the sound of my voice. Body is soft, breath is soft, uncontrolled. We'll inhale with O and exhale with making the sound of Om in your mind silently. Inhaling with an O and exhaling Keeping the focus on Om. 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 Wherever the breath is uncontrolled in the body, bringing the mind within the body. Om. Om. Relaxing the body, spine erect. Om. Om. If the mind wanders, bring it back to Om. Releasing the mantra, bringing your hands into the heart, Anjali. Just taking a moment, refocusing body, breath, mind. Joining me in one Om to end the meditation before we begin our asana. Om. Good. And then getting your legs ready to move out of a seated position. So just putting the legs in front for a moment. Legs extended, feet firmly on the floor, lift your toes. And just open your legs for a moment, see how far they go, and bring them back. And open them a little bit more and see how they go and bring them back. 2 more times. Open, bring back, and open, and bring back. And then taking the left leg over for a moment, just extend the leg over. Good. And bring it back. And right leg, just extend it back, internal rotation. Good. And bring it back. Then take your feet pretty far apart, knock your knees together for just a moment. Hold on below your knees and lean back. You're going to be right at the back of your sit bones, maybe even moving a little bit toward the tailbones or just wherever you are. Good, and then walk your heels back together, put the hands underneath your knees, and just lift and lower. Just parallel, lift and lower, lift and lower. One more, lift and lower. Good. And then let's go ahead and stand up and come into Tadasana. So let's talk a moment longer about the breath when we're doing asana, right? So for a moment, lift your toes, engage the leg muscles. Knees are gently bent, but you have pulled up through the quadriceps. So you aren't locking back the knee. And then drape the toes down, keep the legs engaged, lift the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, feel your transverse abdominis, that belt that goes around you, engage, pulling in everything here. And then begin to feel that the place for the breath now, as you inhale and exhale, put your hands there again, keeping all of the lower body firm, belly button down. Breathe into your hands. 2 more breaths. Keep the pelvic floor lifted. And exhale. Good, 1 more. Spread the diaphragm out to the side and exhale. Good. So let's translate this for a moment into our wide-legged stance, okay? So we're going to keep our hands pretty low today, just not out. We're going to pay attention to the ribs, front and back. So now I want you to put your thumbs to the front and your hands to the back ribs. Thumbs to the front, hands to the back ribs. Shake your legs a little. Just give a little shake to the legs, hips and leg sockets. Good. And then we're going to externally rotate the left leg. Good. Now that takes your torso a little bit out to the left. Notice that torso has to follow the whole torso acts as a unit. And so the ribs follow the hips. So your as is bones, your headlights, and your chest and your breast are aligned, okay? So again, hands to the back, back ribs, good. Exhale the breath, belly to spine. Inhale into your hands. Exhale, release. We're going to combine the action as the pelvic floor stays lifted. So we're going to inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. Wait until the breath moves you. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, don't take your knee out past your foot. If you need to, walk your foot out a little further. Inhale. Exhale, don't lock the knee in either direction, whether it's together or even here. Don't lock it, just lengthen the leg. And inhale, exhale, and inhale back. Good. Unrotate. Great. Keep your hands where they are, thumbs to the front ribs, and then externally rotate the right leg. Good. That took your belly button and your whole torso. Breast as is, bones, everything together. Okay? Good. Hands to the back. Take a nice inhale. Exhale it out. Just notice where you are. Lift the pelvic floor, belly stays engaged. Inhale. Exhale. Don't take the knee past the ankle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Keep the belly engaged. Spread the ribs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Be careful not to lock the knee. And inhale. Back. Good. Coming all the way around. Pelvic floor lifts. Inhaling and exhale. Switch your hands. Put your thumbs to the back again. And then come all the way over, facing me, looking at the floor. Spine as parallel as you can. So you would be able to put your sit bones on the wall behind you, pubic bone and tailbone on the wall behind you. You're completely at a 90-degree angle. If you walked your hips back way past your ankles, draw them forward. Good. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, come up. Good. We're going to inhale, go back into the ribs, belly stays stable. Exhale, come up. We need the power in the exhale. Inhale, coming forward. Spread the ribs. Exhale, coming up. And let's try it as if we needed power in both places. Perhaps we've had an injury or something is going on with our body and our back, and we're not feeling it today. So let's take an inhale here. Exhale, come over, belly to spine. That protects. Pause, take your inhale. Spread the ribs and exhale up. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, over. Inhale, long. Exhale, up. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, over. Belly stays to the spine. Inhale, spread the ribs. Exhale, up. Good. Let's release our arms for a moment. Just let our shoulders relax. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Find your Tadasana. Relax body, breath, and mind. And this is our little respite when we can take these moments of a standing Shavasana. Relax your pelvic floor, relax your belly, relax your buttocks, relax your shoulders, your chest, your jaw. What can you let go? Letting your postural muscles have you, letting your autonomic nervous system just keep you upright as you try to relax muscles to bone. Good. Good. And then on our next inhale, we're going to spread wide again. Okay? Good. Nice and wide. So take a nice inhale and exhale to the right this time. Externally rotate it to the right. Okay? Take an inhale, lift up on the inhale. And as you exhale, belly to spine, hold the breath out for a moment, lean until you get the diagonal line. Okay? Spread the ribs as you inhale. Arms can come up this time. Good. Just spread the arms. Spread. Everything's spread. Good. Chest is open toward me, breathing. Keep the breath in the ribs, keeping the low back very stable with our belly engaged. And on our next exhale, because we need the power, all the way up, arms overhead. Good. Hands to the heart. And let's move, switch. Good. And then left side. Great. Take a nice inhale, lift up. Exhale, belly to spine, hold the breath out, lean. Let's let our arms follow and spread. Good, just breathing. Keeping the chest open, breathing into the chest area, not letting the chest fall down, not letting the shoulder fall down. reaching away as if you were an airplane. Pelvic floor is lifted, belly is engaged, breath is in the ribs. Take a nice inhale, press through your right leg and exhale up. Good. Release. Great. Come back, front and center. Great. And then heel toe. And then let's go to the back of our mat for a moment. So find yourself at the back of your mat. You're going to step forward. We'll start with our left leg. Okay, so take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, left leg forward. Inhale back. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale back. One more. Exhale, left leg forward. Inhale back. Good. Move to the right side. Pause. Inhale. Exhale, right leg forward. Inhale back. Right leg forward. Inhale back. Right leg forward. And inhale back. Good. So just letting the whole body fall into that pattern of where we need force, we're exhaling, and where we're expanding, especially into the chest area, we're inhaling, right? Okay, left leg forward, inhale. Exhale, left leg forward. Good. Pause. You're on train tracks. So make sure your left foot is not in the middle of your mat. It's over toward the left side. If you could draw the right leg, you'd be standing in Tadasana. Good. On your next inhale, let's just raise the arms. You can draw them up any way you want. Arms are overhead. Good. Exhale, belly to spine. And then breathe into your ribs for a moment. Continue to lift the pelvic floor. Belly is stable. Let's take our arms back behind and hold onto our elbows so that we can see that our low back is stable. You can even lean back a little. Good. Breathing. And then take the arms out to the side. Good. Cartwheel the arms over. Place them on either side of the mat. And then drop your back knee to the floor. So find your lunge. Good. Good. You may need to I need to walk my left foot out a little bit right under my knee. Otherwise it was too far back. I have a nice long line and a little bit of feeling of a stretch in my right psoas. Good. Take a nice inhale and exhale, hands to the front knee. Coming up. Good. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, belly to spine. Hold the spine there. Breathe into the ribs. You can take your gaze up if you'd like. And then arms floating down gently. Let's step into plank. Long line of energy, just walking through. Pull the belly into the spine, lift the pelvic floor, press into the hands and arms, shoulders are broad. And then walk your hands back. And slowly look forward if you need to. You can let yourself go if you'd like to. And then everybody looking forward, arms to the sides, coming up. Good. Hands to the heart. Release the arms. Take a nice inhale. And then exhale, right leg forward. Good. So just stay where you are. Make sure that you are on train tracks and your back heel is up. Good. Belly to spine. Pelvic floor is lifted. Hollowing out this space with your transverse abdominis. Good. All of your breath is in the chest. Inhale, arms up. Good. Breathing. Push through the back leg. Keep it long and straight, but don't lock out the knee. And then slowly begin to cartwheel the arms over. We're going to lay our back foot on the floor. And again, you may need to walk your right foot out a little, getting it right on that ankle right underneath the knee. Lift the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, and on your next exhale, hands to the front knee. Good. Square your hips, facing me. Good. And then arms reaching up. And here you can look up, gaze up. Here is the back bend. Belly is in, spine is long. Feel the chest broaden, front to back, side to side with each inhale. Lungs recoiling on each exhale. Belly stays strong. Bring the arms all the way down. Good. And we're going to step back to plank. Long line of energy. Press through the heels. Good. And then let's drop to our knees for a moment. So we have a very long space now. And I want us to make sure as we go down that our elbows are headed back and not to the side. You're welcome to come on down to your forearms to come to the floor too. If you have any wrist issues or know that there's a weakness in your triceps or your rhomboids. Otherwise, we're going to try to put our chin on the front side of our hand and our chest on the back side of our hand for 8 parts bowing. We're going to actually touch the floor with our chin and our chest. Our bottom is going to stay up in the air. So take a nice inhale and hold the breath. Head down, release the breath. And then on your inhale, lower your bottom to the floor. Good. Come up into Sphinx. Pull the belly to the spine. So the belly is pulling off the floor, right around your belly button. If you can pull it off, and if you can't, because you have too much meat there, just have the intention of lifting the belly from the floor. Good. And then curl the toes under. Press into the ball of the foot. Get as far off of your toes as you can toward the ball of the foot. Yes, you will still be on the toes, but toward the ball of the foot. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lift into a long line. Press through the heels. Inhale, lower. 3 more times. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Belly pulls in. Inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Begin to walk your feet up, looking forward. Just looking forward, sort of like a mountain pose, but not quite, just looking forward. And then come up off of your forearms onto your hands into mountain. Readjust. If you're not inverting, come into plank. So if you're on your menstrual cycle, eye pressure problems, uncontrolled blood pressure, come out of mountain immediately and come into plank. Long line of energy, you can drop to your knees. Good. Breathing. So you're either in mountain, either in plank, or either in plank with knee support. So one of those 3 poses, find yourself. Good. And then very gently, everyone drop to the knees, walk your hands back, walk your arms back, and sit on your heels. So curl the toes under, sitting on the heels being high. How's everybody doing? Breath okay? Notice it. Notice when you can relax your belly for a moment and take a few delicious breaths down there. A little more full, a little more soft, a little more release in the body. Good. And then coming up onto our knees one more time. So let's open up the right leg, toes facing me. Good. Arms reaching up overhead for just a moment. Let's interlace the fingers and squeeze the hands up toward the ceiling, palms toward the ceiling. Good. And then reach over toward the leg. Exhale back up. Let's combine that. Take an exhale, belly to spine, over. Inhale while you're there. into the ribs. Exhale back. Good. Inhale while you're there. Exhale over, belly to spine. Inhale there. Exhale back. Good, one more time. Inhale. Exhale over. Inhale back. And exhale, release. So let's just put the leg in external rotation for just a moment, just for a moment. Complete rotation. Just notice the leg, make sure you can't see your heel. It's hidden completely under your thigh. That's your warrior two leg. Good, and then release. And out straight with the left leg. Toes facing me. Take the arms up overhead, interlace in the uncomfortable way. Press the palms up toward the ceiling. Let's take an inhale, lift. Exhale, close the gate. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, head it over. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, head it over. Inhale, coming back. I think we do one more. Exhale, head it over. And inhale, coming back. Good, let's release the arms and let's externally rotate the left leg. Look down, make sure you cannot see your heel. You have it right underneath your thigh. You're sure where your rotation is for your warrior poses, for your triangle pose, for your side angle pose. Good, take a nice inhale and exhale, lower the leg. We're gonna work a little bit here on camel prep, okay? I'm gonna do it to the side so that you have a better vision, right? But you would like to do it facing me if you can, so that you aren't doing this thing with your neck, right? You just really want to be looking forward. So I'm curling the toes under, and I'm going to use my breath. I'm also going to use a hold into my breath, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is take my arms back behind me, reach them back, interlace the fingers, and squeeze the knuckles and open my chest. So I just want you to feel how that feels, how open you can be in your chest region. Good, and then release it. So nothing moved from your psoas down, from your low belly, everything stayed engaged. If you have a wall against you, I'll pretend that this pillow is my wall. It's staying engaged. Nothing is going on there. I'm not pushing forward into the pillow. I'm not leaning back away from the pillow. Good. Let's do that again. An uncomfortable side of the interlace. Roll the shoulders back and down. Open your chest. Begin to see your sternum lifting up. And then on your next exhale, come out. Okay? The pillow is not very stable. All righty. So nice and tall. We're going to put our hands on our ribs again. We're going to feel the breath. So I want you to inhale, fill it up, exhale, belly to spine. Let the ribs go, everything recoiling. Inhale. Hold and back bend a little, just a little, and exhale up. So you're holding that inhaled breath in the chest region. So you have something to lean on. As if you had a limbo stick and you were just leaning on the limbo stick for a moment, then you exhale up. Okay? 3 more times. Inhale into the ribs. Hold the breath. Lean on your limbo stick. Exhale. Back to neutral. Good. 2 more times. Inhale. Lean. Exhale. Back to neutral. Good. One last time. Let's hold it for 1 breath. Even another breath. Breathe while you're there. And your next exhale, back to neutral. And then have a seat onto your heels. Good. So belly stayed into the spine the whole time. Great. and back up to your knees. Excellent. Okay. So this time, with the same thing in mind, just make sure there is no pushing forward, no thrusting forward. Everything is staying nice and even. Your shoulders are over your hips, over your knees. Okay. So this time when we roll, we're going to use rolling our shoulders back and down, really showing the sternum as we inhale. We can hold the inhale and then exhale, come back. Okay? 3 more times. Inhale. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale back. Inhale. Shoulders up and back and sternum toward the ceiling. And exhale. Good. And hips to heels. Great. Excellent. Good. And then facing, just bringing your hands down to the floor for a second. Okay? So when we really learn to pull our belly in and keep our belly stable as a protector for our low back, then it gives us a very different sense of buoyancy in the body. So for just a moment, lift your knees a little, not a lot, and then begin to walk your feet closer. Look forward, put your knees in your armpits for a moment. Just put your knees in your armpits. Hollow out your belly. And inhale, lift your bottom. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift your bottom. Exhale, lower. Try to keep the relationship of armpits and knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. I'm up on my tippy toes. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. So those of you who like to do Bakasana, feel free to take that here. I need to slide my elbows outside of my knees to do that, letting my legs, my shins rest on my upper arm. My hands will be bent. Take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, belly to spine, lift. Inhale. And then begin to reach forward. Don't look down, look out. And just play with one foot or one leg at a time. Have fun. Pretend you're a kid at play school. Just playing with it. It's your practice, nobody else cares. Just have fun. Good. And then coming back down to all fours, hands and feet on the floor. Let's put our full foot on the floor if we can. Full foot on the floor if we can. You can put your hands back behind you if you'd like, or hands in front of you for a moment. But make sure your knees and your feet are headed in the same direction. Letting your bottom be heavy wherever it is, both places. The lower body, getting that apana vayu back to its abode. Notice how here with the belly compressed, the breath happens in those beautiful back ribs. Just notice that. And then gently make your way to the floor. Good. Extending out. Great. Just extend out through for a moment. We're going to take Sukhasana, easy pose, wherever you'd like. Just folding your legs. Your feet can be underneath your knees, supporting them, whatever you would like for your easy pose. We're going to add a little twist here. Inhaling, twisting to the left. Exhaling, back to center. 3 times. Inhale, left. Exhale, back to center. Keep looking at me. Inhale, left. Exhale, back to center. That way we know you're using your spine and not your neck. Inhale, right. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, right. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, right. And exhale, back to center. Good. Arms up overhead for a moment. Take a nice inhale and reach up. Exhale, root down, and inhale, begin to twist to the left. Exhale, lower your arms, keep looking out toward me or over your right shoulder. Breathe. And on your next exhale, release the pose, arms overhead. Good. Inhale. To the right, exhale, lower the arms, keep looking out over your left shoulder, belly is in the spine. Your breath is very compressed now. Inhaling, and you're really feeling the left side ribs expand with the breath. Right side's compressed. Breathe. And then on your next inhale, arms overhead. Good. Exhale, hands into the heart. We're going to lower ourselves slowly, and we have time for an inversion before our Shavasana. So if you're inverting, you can grab a block, you can do handstand, headstand, shoulder stand, Viparit Karani Mudra, anything you like. I'm going to instruct you in Viparit Karani Mudra with the block. If you're on your menstrual cycle, first few heavy days, please do not invert. If you have any blood pressure problems that are uncontrolled without medication, if you have glaucoma, eye pressure problems, please do not invert. You can find a twist or some other pose that will help you relax, okay? So lying down, I'm gonna just take my block, put my feet on the floor. I'm gonna have the block really on whichever side I want. Put it underneath my sacrum. Make sure it's under my sacrum and I feel really solid there before I lift my knees. Draw my knees into the chest just a little, and then extend the legs up toward the ceiling. Don't look to the side, look only up toward your feet. Relax the femurs and the sockets. Breathing. And then slowly begin to transition out of your inversion. Bend the knees, place the feet on the floor, lift your hips off the block, move it out of the way, and then begin to find Shavasana, corpse pose. Stretching out the legs, keeping the hands below the heart. Arms can be out to the side, sort of like a starfish, but keep the hands below the heart. If you have on glasses, this is the time to take them off. Letting go. Practicing surrender. It's a practice and it gets better with time. Releasing, relaxing, surrender. Let your breath be uncontrolled. just enough to sustain you. Slowly and gently bringing your awareness into the breath with the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest. Deepen the breath a little bit as you begin to move your fingers and swim your toes. You might consider an overhead stretch. Or maybe you'd like to just shrink in and find yourself curled up in embryo pose. Either way, making your way slowly onto one side, curled up in embryo pose. Then slowly begin to press the floor away, spiraling up, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat, any seat. Just letting the asana work. Paying attention to body, breath, mind. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Any merit we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. Remembering your sankalpa, your intention, and repeat it again 3 times to yourself. And then let that thought come down out of your mind into your heart, out of your heart into the hands, and then lift it up and let it go off into the universe. Just let go. Bring the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. I will be right there with you. It's a little chilly. So let me fix this. so that you can speak. So now you are able to unmute anytime you'd like. And let me get it in gallery so I can see your pretty faces, those of you who are allowing me to see your pretty faces. So nice to have you this morning. Welcome, Juan Carlos, ¿qué tal? Hi, Manabi, nice to see, Manipa, nice to see you always. Jessica, Ashok, namaste. Antonia and Silvia. Hi, Jen and Hope, Espe, Nancy. Hi, Nayana, Donna, Lori. Hi, Lori. Hi, Wendy. Wendy, nice to see you. Iyun, wow. Hi, so nice to have you. Nice to have you. And Flor, wow. Okay, such a nice group. It's really nice to be with you this morning. So any questions about the breath, anything at all about the breath? Because I wanted to go back in. I had a student from our YTT 300 started a discussion yesterday just about asana and the breath, making sure that we realize that our belly is usually engaged in asana, unless we're sitting in a meditative pose, of course, or unless we finally found a perfect inversion where we can just relax and let everything go. But generally, when we're moving, especially in asana, into the pose and out of the pose, we want our abdominal muscles engaged, our transverse abdominis, to really stabilize the low back. So I wanted to go back through the breathing. How was that for you all, focusing on the breath and the exhale with movement? Anybody?
I had taken a class previously where the instructor made us wear a belt around our chests, and that really emphasized like the whole, 3D breathing, because you had to keep the belt up, and that really helped. So I visualized that.
Right. It'd be hard to keep the breath up on an exhale. But I mean, mine would fall every time because the circumference, my circumference with an exhale breath and an inhale breath is over 5 inches. So I could never keep it up if I exhaled. But I could, if I had an elastic one there to keep my awareness there, like those elastic belts that they wore in the 50s, those really thick elastic belts that women would wear in the 50s. If I could get one of those and put it right around there, and then breathe into that every time, that would really help my awareness stay where the breath goes. Because often what happens especially for beginners, but for many reasons, not just because they don't know better, the breath comes up and engages their sympathetic nervous system, and they get agitated in the asana practice. So we really want to keep it in the rib cage, but not high up with our, where our clavicles are. And the lungs go up past your clavicles. The apex of the lung is up past your clavicle. So we want to make sure that you're using, the body, the major part where you have the most space to move into. Yeah. Any other comments about the breath and asana?
Which breath do you exhale through your mouth, and which do you exhale through your nose?
Which breath practices? Which pranayama practices?
Yes.
Well, we have a lot of very different ones than some other teachers might teach. But like for example, Shitali and Sitkari, the two cooling breaths, you inhale through the mouth because your purpose there is to cool off the cilia of the tongue and cool off the cribriform plate, the upper palate, which is informing the hypothalamus and everything. So we want to, that's a cool buddy's microphone. I'm going to just mute it because it's really loud. Okay. There are certain breaths, like in our Ashtanga Yoga primer that Babaji wrote with his students. It kind of gives you a whole lot of breaths to use. But in asana practice, generally, unless you're doing Simhasana, which is lion's breath, you're generally inhaling and exhaling through your nose, period. There's no asana that you would exhale through your mouth unless you want to enforce it. I often exhale teaching through my mouth so you can hear, you can hear me go, right? Because I want you to have that force of the exhale, but you don't have to do it through your mouth. It would be much better if you did it through your nose. But yeah, so actually that happens in some of our kriyas. We have the swasayam kriyas, the 8 actions of self-restraint. And in some of those, there is an exhale out a partially open mouth. And a lot of people do it with no sound. I always find I have a little sound. I try to be really conscious when I'm teaching, not to have much of a sound there, so that I'm not encouraging people to close off and do a glottis thing, because there's no glottis involved there. But the sound to me is a little bit soothing. I don't know if that speaks to you. Like when I'm home alone practicing, I will often, and of course, because I learned Ujjayi with asana early on, even before Babaji. So I would sometimes have a tendency to fall back into that Ujjayi sound, but it's mostly because it's soothing for me. It's like humming. It's just a soothing, nurturing sound. So I sometimes will do that. And Babaji said it's fine to do it in asana, but he never, when you're doing it as a pranayam, he would inhale with the sound and exhale just normal. And if it was too heating for someone like a pitta, he would inhale with the sound and then exhale out the left nostril, close off the right, just exhale left. Yeah. So the distinction, then when you really start to see the distinction between an abdominal breath and a belly breath, and what I want to see for you guys, I want you to tell me if you understand, or if it feels understandable to you in your body, more than this kind of understanding. If your body understood about releasing the belly and let the breath come in. When you have the belly tugged in and you can't get the belly to breathe, right? Because there's no place to put it. Then you release the belly and let the breath come in, rather than trying to push that breath into a contracted belly. Can you see that? Did you feel that? Did your body like that? Good, good. Because I've had some teachers just, say abdominal breath and have people just breathing in and out of their belly. But I like to, Kriya 6, one of those Swasayam Kriyas, is this exact breath of exhale belly to spine, release the belly, breath comes in. Because if we just let the belly go, then the diaphragm drops down into that spot. Because when we let all those belly muscles go, our diaphragm just went right down into that little spot and pushed the organs out of the way. So we had a place to breathe and it affected the organs. Yeah. I love working with knowing that the diaphragm, it's like a dome, it's like a parachute, and it's attached to the heart right here, literally. It is attached to the heart. There is fascia that attaches it to the heart. And so it's kind of like opening an umbrella, like going like this, right? This part isn't really going up and down because it's attached to your heart, but this is going out. That's opening out. So, when you can contract it down, which is what's pushing your belly down, or you can contract it out to the side. But either way, the muscle gets shorter, right? And then the muscle relaxes, and then the muscle gets shorter, and the muscle relaxes. So I love just exploring how much space you can get in your thoracic cavity for your lungs to expand. I think that's super interesting. And getting the differential, when I had an x-ray, I guess it was last year, here in Guatemala, we have to get health cards, and a health card consists of a chest x-ray. And the technician said, inhale. Wow. He said, your lungs are so long. And I said, well, it's just practice. There's nothing going on there. I don't have long lungs. I've just been using my diaphragm. consciously for a long time, so that when I take a full breath, my diaphragm knows how to contract down. But he was, mira, el largo de los pulmones in the microphone. So, yeah. I tried to select asana today where you could really see how the breath can make a difference in you feeling stable. So with the focus on the breath, how did the asana feel?
I have a question, Ginger.
Yes, Antonia.
When I focus on, I realized when you would say like, go back to your regular breathing, I breathe into my stomach. And when we do asana and I'm focusing on my breath and my belly staying tight, I get really tense and I have a hard time focusing on anything else. It's like my body wants to breathe into my stomach. So I don't know how to balance those things.
Right. So first start thinking about your stomach as an organ, right? It's not, you're not breathing anywhere close to your stomach. You're breathing into your abdomen, because I want you to see what's there. When you look at something, I want you to really see what's there. So there's a lot of layers of muscle, right? So the transverse abdominis, the rectus abdominis, but there's all of the obliques and the serrae. I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, right? So when you think about your lungs expanding, what sends you into sympathetic is when you pull it out of your belly, but instead of keeping it low in the thoracic cavity, you've pushed it up. So like your breath is happening, instead of happening here, like right about where I would have a sports bra, right there, yours is starting to happen up in here. That's what happens, and it engages that sympathetic nervous system. So it does make you more nervous, more anxious, more everything. So putting your hands down on your low ribs is an excellent exercise for you, just to breathe way down and then release and way down. And when you start to feel it coming up in here, just push it down, because you want your belly to engage so your low back is safe. And I know you need your low back safe. We've talked about that, right? So you have to keep your low back safe, and the only way to do that is with your belly not breathing right then. So then you have to find a way to transfer the breath. But you don't have to do it only with asana. It's also good to do it like be on a block, laying down in bridge pose with a block underneath your hips, and just breathing there and exercising the diaphragm. Just exercising the diaphragm the whole time you're down. Yeah. Yeah, and I can give you a couple of other exercises privately, because I'm sure not everybody wants or needs. Okay, well, it's time, and I've enjoyed hanging out with you, and I look forward, starting July 1st, there will be a different password. There'll be a login and a password that's different. So I will post it on, I'll have it posted on the Mount Madonna webpage. I'll have it posted on my Facebook page. I'll have it posted on Instagram. I'll post it just about anywhere I can post it. I'll change it on the, well, I'll post it as soon as Tuesday's class is over, because Thursday's class is the one that would start with the new link with a password. They're kicking us off of those of us who don't care if we have passwords. Okay. All righty, so have a wonderful Thursday. I love hanging out with you, and enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in Español martes and in English on Thursday. Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.